Here we go, the moment we've been waiting for. Will the Aston Martin Virage start? What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode 2 with the Aston Martin Virage rebuild. As promised last video, this video is going to include the hopefully first startup, the teardown of the damage to see what exactly is wrong with the front end of this car, and hopefully a cost breakdown. If you guys missed last video, be sure to check it out. We got this car for a steal of a deal, probably because it had no key. So you didn't know how many miles were on it. You didn't know if it ran. We don't know if it's got a blown engine. All that's unknown.
We bought this thing sight unseen, and while the other side looks pretty good, the interior looks great, the damage is concentrated. However, we're not sure exactly what we're in for.
But by the end of this video, we can tear down the damage, we can take off the wheel and see really what's wrong and determine whether this car is a huge home run or a big bust. Okay, so we actually have to get to Kyle's before he closes, so we don't have time for a full proper wash with, you know, wash mitts and getting the foam cannon going. Love this black paint, but won't be black for long. Once this thing gets running, we're gonna wrap this thing ASAP. Comment color ideas down below. This will be wrapped.
72 hours later.
All right, good morning, guys. It is a few days later now, and check this out. Christian and I are back with the Aston Martin and hopefully get repairing it, if we're lucky, by the end of this video. By the end of today, maybe, just maybe, this car will be fixed with the lower control arm damage, all that good stuff. We have a good view of the damage, and it's actually not as bad as we thought. We'll show that in just a second, but before we can continue, we need to thank the sponsor of today's video, Upstart. So we all know debt is usually a bad thing, something you want to avoid, right? That's pretty common sense. But unfortunately, it's easier said than done, and over 40% of Americans find themselves stuck in debt. The average American has $6,000 of revolving credit at an average interest rate of over 14%. No wonder people get stuck in debt and just crippled by this. And unfortunately, a lot of times when you start going down that road of debt and owing money, it's hard to get out of it. But that's where Upstart can help. Upstart is a way that you can consolidate all of your high interest debts into one simple monthly payment. And the best news is, it can all be done online. And Upstart also considers your employment and your income to find you a smarter online rate, so they don't just look at your credit score. And in just 5 minutes, you can check your rate upfront online from the comfort of your home. Upstart also works very fast. And if you're wondering, the loans range from $1,000 to $50,000. Support those who support us by checking them out today at upstart.com/jrgarage. Once again, that is upstart.com/jrgarage. Thank you, Upstart, for supporting the channel and making videos like this possible. Now, let's go check out the Aston Martin, see exactly how bad of damage we're working with. All right, there she is. Long time no see. It's been a few days since we left off, you know, backing the trailer up to here. Basically, Kyle's like, yo, I don't want this thing taking up a lift if we're waiting on parts and getting all this stuff torn down. So we said, you know what, you're right. So we just jacked it up here to see what we're working with a couple days ago, and that's when you found that the damage wasn't even that bad. I'll roll the clip.
Yeah, so it looks like for now we're gonna start with just a lower control arm and get that bolted in there, get the wheel and tire bolted back on, and I think we should be able to roll it off of the trailer and then throw it up on the lift, check the hub, check the upper control arm, check anything else for any sort of issues. But for starters, easy peasy.
Hopefully we don't need other parts. Wouldn't that be nice, guys? If we can get away with just a lower control arm. How much was it? We just bought it. It arrived. We're throwing it on today.
Like $400?
Yeah, 400 bucks, 450 bucks for the new lower control arm. If that's all it needs and we fix this car for 450 bucks, then we'll see if that's all it needs. Well, besides the fender liner, we had to buy that too because that was missing. I'm sure that was all cracked up from being smushed into the wheel. But aside from that, we may dodge a huge bullet on this one. And the brake looks good. That's, as we know, like 8,000 bucks. So that could have been real bad.
All right, Jeffrey's tackling the last bolt that's holding in the front of the control arm. I got the strut bolt off and I got the sway bar bolt off. So as soon as Trevor gets that one, this control arm should come out.
It is pretty hot. Of course, summer of Arizona, it's like 105 degrees doing this work, but obviously it makes sense because this car, you can't get it off the trailer with the damage. Of course, it wouldn't roll, so that's why we're doing it on here, of course. Hey, victory! That took an impact. Man, to think it just blew apart that metal. But if that's our only damage, we will be so happy. So let's see, lower control arm coming out. Come on, baby. Yes.
After lots of wax with the hammer and the pry bar. Dang it.
Don't get stuck on us now. Yep. Yes.
Ah.
Yes. Victory. Let's see the carnage. This is the most like non-professional setup, but it worked. I just told you, be careful with the $8,000 rotor, and here you have it propped up on a little like piece of wood. Yeah, that looks safe. Whoa, look at that. Dude, shaved it right off. It took some serious force. This is great.
P for passenger. Let's hope we got a passenger side control arm.
Yep, let's go get the new part. There it is with no lower control arm, and we just hope the strut and everything else in the upper is good, and then we'll be on our way to a huge home run. Out with the old, in with the new. Christian just placed it up there. Now we gotta, you know, get it into place, secure it into place, but it's looking good. Nice new shiny part. So we'll get this in, we'll see if the wheel goes on and if we're good to go for a first startup.
Finally got that ball joint done. That was the last piece. Double checked everything's tight. On she goes.
Bam. Thank you, Kyle, for the help. We accidentally, what'd we do wrong, Christian?
When we popped out the ball joint, it popped out a sleeve that was in the knuckle and didn't really realize it.
We forgot the sleeve the first time around. It wouldn't tighten up, and then Kyle's like, where's your sleeve? So we threw that on, and he helped us with that last little bit, but that all went pretty straightforward. That was hot. We are cooking out here, but like to be nearly done, this feels really good. And to possibly be backing this car off for the first time, fingers crossed, it needs nothing else. Come on, baby. And you guys won't believe this. Absolutely crazy. So you guys know we have the crystal key on order, right? I mean, like, it's gonna be like 2,000 bucks. Not here yet. Well, I was cleaning some things on the interior, and guess what?
Lo and behold,
we find the key. Now, before you get too excited, it's not the crystal key, it's not the $2,000 key. It's the like cheap black valet key. Believe me when I say cheap black valet key. It looks like a piece of $2 plastic, and it's somehow an Aston Martin key. So we're still gonna order the crystal key, but this is huge. Like, we now have the ability to start the car, drive it if we want. Even the valet key is 800 bucks. So like, this is huge to be able to now have a key for the car. You guys were right. Thank you so much to the comment section. Everybody's like, okay, this is too weird. Like, if they did a whole insurance write-up on it, there's probably a key. Be sure to like search the whole car. Somebody saw it, there was a key bag that insurance wrote the name of the customer on and like the claim number, and there was no key in it. So everybody said, look around the car. And sure enough, it was lost, wedged in the pit of no return where you couldn't even see it or grab it. But I happened to like see a little plastic thing, and I was like, no way, that's the key. Sure enough, thank goodness I started to clean the interior. We do have the key. It's gonna have a dead battery, but it may just start up for the first time and get off the trailer. So this is super exciting. Is it gonna work? All right, we got the car into position. Let's see if it'll fire up for the first time with a little jump. Oh, the seat is still way too far forward. Okay, here we go. I think this should work.
Wait a minute, something ain't right. Doom, doom, doom.
All right, guys, it's trying. Maybe not enough juice. That's good, though. It's cranking. That means the key works. This is the actual key of the car. No! No! Hopefully this does. This should be enough juice. Come on, baby. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Heck yeah. Starts right up with a lot of battery juice. Guys, we're rolling. going, albeit with a very bent steering wheel. This is supposedly going straight, yet the wheel is completely pointed to the left, but that's okay. That's as expected with a lower control arm. We got to get it aligned, which we will do some point this week, but otherwise, look at that. No check engine lights, no warning lights other than low tires, duh, because the one has like a huge chunk out of it, has to be replaced. But otherwise, it's working. I can't believe it. It actually feels pretty good, like it drives smooth. I think maybe it really just needed that lower control arm. The strut feels fine, just needs an alignment. So we'll get you back to the garage, we'll clean it up. Well guys, there you have it. After a couple hours of going to town, cleaning it, the interior, the exterior, we got the top down. Check out that interior in its full glory. Took a lot of cleaning, not gonna lie, with the windows dropped down a little bit. A lot of dust got in from the auction and got everything pretty dusty and dirty. So I hit everything and now it cleaned up like a brand new car. Oh, they just reopened the airport here, so all the jets and planes are back, which hey, we don't mind that. Check out JR Aviation. You guys know we love planes, and our planes would be here right now, but they're currently getting serviced. So stay tuned. We got more Bonanza videos on the way for JR Aviation. Christian, final thoughts. I know you were a big proponent of this car. You really wanted this thing, so what do you think now that it's quote unquote done?
So I found our last V8 Vantage deal, and I was always a proponent of the 4-seat 12-cylinder variant, and I'm really happy with it. I almost forgot it was black. This looks much, much, much better clean.
Hey, but it's not gonna be black for long. Guys, as you know, we were planning on wrapping this car, and we're still gonna do that. Probably tomorrow we're gonna drop it off at Fastlane, and wait till you see this color that Nosatech cooked up. It's gonna be sick on this car, so stay tuned for that. So for now, we just removed the front splitter that was all mangled up. Actually, is that the right word? We removed the mesh section. Yeah. We already took off the splitter piece, which is in perfect condition. Good to go.
Surprisingly.
Weird, right? All we need is the mesh grill, which, I mean, that can't be more than like a couple $100. We'll just buy it off some like parts car. And heck, if it's anything more than that, I'll go get some chicken wire from Home Depot.
Yeah, I know this grill is really expensive, but I don't know about the mesh.
This one's good. I mean, just some mesh lower insert. But for now, like, we can drive like this. And there's our wheel. It worked just fine on the drive here. Don't worry, there will be an actual first drive video coming soon. This, I didn't get it over like 2,000 RPMs, and I only drove it a couple miles, so we were super duper like cautious. I just didn't want anything to break. So I didn't really film any of that because it was not exciting at all, but stay tuned. When we get the alignment done, we're gonna rip this thing. 500 horsepower, $230,000 sticker price, and we got it for 85% off. We got a steal on this thing. Now, what's crazy, hence the title and thumbnail of this video, I think. I reached out to the insurance company because I kind of know them through social media stuff. And I said, hey, why'd this car get totaled? Like, wasn't that bad damage? And they were like, here, let's pull up the quote. Get this, the quote to fix this car was $60,000. No joke, $60,000 to repair the damage on this car from hitting the curb or whatever.
What? Yes, $60,000 would total a car, and that is why this car got totaled, but it should not have been. It should not have been that big of a quote.
I mean, I feel bad for the owner. Whoever you are, if you're watching out there, we have your car and it really wasn't that bad damage. I'm sorry that the quote was so large, $60,000. Let's go over that real quick. So total cost, although we're not 100% done, the bulk of the quote was made up in the suspension area. So that we fixed, like we said. Now, of course, we did have to buy the upper fender liner, which was a little spendy. How much was that? $450 again? Okay, while he's double checking that, 2 wheels need to be refinished. See this little curb rash there, and then the curb rash on the back. That's $200 per wheel. This tire is okay. This one though, was leaking air and it has a big chunk out of it. So although there's plenty of meat left on this tire, we got to buy a new one. That's $200. Plus this front end, I'm gonna budget $200 for the piece of mesh.
Yeah, I'm back with the official invoice.
Okay, good.
And we were slightly off.
Oh good, so it's cheaper than you thought?
No, it's a little bit more.
Oh.
$591 for the lower arm.
Ah, shoot, $591, not $450, okay.
And $639 for a wheel well liner.
Oh, dang, that one hurt, but there was no used ones, so we had to just bite the bullet. Okay, a little more than I would have liked, but hey, we're still doing really good. Pull out the calculator, please.
591 plus 639
Plus 200.
plus 200
Plus 200 for the tire.
plus 200 for the tire
Plus 400 for the wheels.
plus 400 gold.
The answer is 2030.
2030. Just over 2,000 bucks to fix a $60,000 problem. And again, this 2,000 bucks was not cutting corners. Like, that was buying brand new parts, lower control arm. We could have maybe bought a used one, but it was for like an older DB9, which it may have worked, but it may not have worked, and it's used, bushings, like,
Yeah, exactly.
why not just buy the new one?
Ball joint and bushings. However, there were a couple things in the quote that we did not do. Well, first of all, like, they quoted replacing the wheels completely, so
Which is ridiculous.
coming up with a more cost-effective method of that.
And that was probably like 12,000 bucks for the two wheels. No wonder the quote got to 60K.
Yeah.
You got 12,000 bucks for the wheels. They quoted to replace the fender, I'm pretty sure. Like, why? What is wrong with this fender? There's nothing wrong with it. I'm pretty sure they quoted for a front bumper, even though there's literally nothing wrong with it. Like, the smallest little scrapes down here, but that's typical on any supercar. I don't get why they went that crazy.
But at the same time, it needed a lot of work. Just getting it onto the trailer, heck, just getting it off of the trailer. We needed to do all this maintenance on the trailer. It was a pain getting the thing on and off. This was a whole day's work for two people.
It was a lot of work. Oh, and I will say the quote was given out in February of this year. So there's a potential that the car was sitting at the repair shop for like a long time and they quoted for like storage. Maybe that ran up the quote a little bit. Or I don't know why. Maybe they tried to get the parts and then realized the parts were like many months out. So they just said, forget it, send the car auction.
We got them pretty quick.
Sure.
From Scuderia Car Parts.
We got them quick. Well, these ones were in stock. If we had to buy the strut and the knuckle, those things were like months out in Europe, right?
Yes, that's right. The knuckle's not in stock. I doubt a fender would be in stock that they quoted for, or a bumper or something. So we're pretty fortunate that what we needed to get this car back on the road and in perfectly good drivable condition was all in stock. So
dodged another bullet, because sometimes you can wait months for parts and it just completely screws up your project. And that's why you guys are able to get part 2 just like a week or two after we dropped the first video. Like, that's it. It's 95% done. Okay, we got to refinish the wheels, slap on the tire, and then find a mesh grill. That's it. Done. And now we have a perfectly good Aston Martin V12 that was once 230 grand. For total out the door with fees, will still be in this less than the price of a new Honda Odyssey. Which would you guys take? Honda Odyssey or the 500 horsepower V12 Aston? Yeah, tough decision. Crazy. Stay tuned for the first actual drive we'll put through its paces, and after the alignment, if everything is still in check, then I think we dodged a bullet. That's all we need to do. Just the lower control arm. Could have been much, much worse, but somehow the car gods are looking out for us again. How did we do this?
I knew this one was going to be good.
How did we do this? I was worried honestly when we rolled up. It was looking pretty bad, and I'm like, shoot, this is bad. I'm sure that carbon rotor's cracked, you know, something like that. No, was not. We are good. Brakes just fine. I hope the excitement carries through to you guys at home, seeing this thing come back together. So stay tuned. We are wrapping it next video. We are going for our first drive after that. Hope you guys enjoy. Subscribe if you're new. Take care. We'll see you guys in the next one.
That it feels right.